Welcome to the Awkward Zoo. I'm Randy, and this is Just Listen podcast. And today, it's not a new series in Chew on this. We're just gonna go back to just random things. Uh, so be on the lookout for what it is, and then we're gonna flip the script on another anime. Um, More on that when that comes up. But first. Updates. I have no updates. Yeah, I haven't heard back yet. I probably should start looking for another job. Yeah, I haven't heard back yet. Um, Apparently, the last time I checked the website, it's supposed to open this weekend. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Um, by this weekend, I mean last week of January because I'm I'm a week ahead, which means this is 2 weeks ahead. Uh, which means you won't see this until 2 weeks. So ha, yeah, okay. Um, yeah. I've been playing the same old things. Um, Tower defense games on mobile. Balloons TD, PVZ2. Same old mobile games, Guardian Tales, Dragalia Lost, and then been grinding in Monster Hunter. Um, if you are on the Twitch scene, I just I beat Haru Warriors, and then working on 100%ing completing that with the rest of the side quests and stuff. Um, what else? Yeah, that's about it. Um, I am. Yeah, that's about it. There's not much going on. Uh, all that will come in the other segments. But yeah, let's head to it. Chew on this. So today's chew on this. I recently gotten into. I've been making Dutch babies. If you don't know what that is, we'll talk about it later. When I first was looking it up, um, there's apparently a very heated debate in 2018, and when the New York Times has posted a recipe for a Dutch baby, and a few people um, got angry because they're like, "That's a Yorkshire pudding, and that shouldn't be sweet." Uh, so there was a huge debate about Dutch babies and Yorkshire pudding back in 2018. I'm sure if you look up either of those articles will pop up, or especially if you put them together, they'll definitely pop up. So, well, what exactly is a Dutch baby? What's a Yorkshire pudding? And are they the same? Or are they different? I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe. Who knows? Okay. So, this information, all this I found, let's see. We found this at the uh, um, the weather red gray table.com, creative culinary.com, and historic uk.com. These are articles, but they're found on those websites, because I'm too lazy to find out who wrote the article. But this information is found there. And so let's start with the Dutch pudding that started this whole argument in 2018. So what is a Dutch baby? Dutch pudding. Dutch baby. What is a Dutch baby? Well, it's not actually Dutch. It is German. It is a German pancake. I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong. Actually, both of these wrong. Or should I say a Deutsch pancake? I don't know. So the word German is Deutsch. I don't know. Germans, please don't get mad at me. uh, but yeah. So the word for German sounds like Dutch. Um, and it's a German pancake. Pfannkuchen, 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 Pfannkuchen. I'm gonna go with Pfannkuchen. If any of you are German, please correct me. The term Dutch baby was it came from a family restaurant in Seattle. De Manca's Cafe. Victor Manca's daughter couldn't pronounce the word that I'm struggling with it, and said Dutch, and they had this trademarked from 1942 to 1950s when it closed. And yeah, so we got the Dutch baby. We'll get to what it is later. So what does that have to do with Yorkshire pudding? Very similar. They're very similar in cooking methods, which we will get to. So Yorkshire pudding. So Yorkshire pudding most likely happened when someone was trying to multitask, and they were making pudding underneath a roast, and drippings came into the pan because the pan was on the bottom, the roast was on the spit on top, over a fire. And the first recipe was seen in 1737 as dripping pudding in The Whole Duty of a Woman. And then a recipe was found in 1747, The Art of Cookery, being made plain and easy by Hannah Glass, calling it Yorkshire pudding. So a decade later, it was then called Yorkshire pudding. So what is pudding? We're like, what does a Dutch baby and pudding have to do with anything? All these terms, all these names, and you recognize pudding. But if you're an American, and like me, when you hear pudding, you think of pudding cups, and you think of like custard, gloopy. You think of custardy, gloopy things like banana pudding, right? Overseas, Britons consider pudding more of a dessert. It's sweets. It's dessert. It's interchangeable with dessert. So pudding can encompass cakes, custards, all sorts of things. But it became more associated with sweets in the 18th century. Before that, it was savory, and it was more like similar to sausages. It was like meat, like ground up meat paste that was cooked. And so it was similar to sausages before it started being associated with sweets. And so what does this all have to do with Yorkshire pudding? Yorkshire pudding is on that savory end, so it's not a dessert. So even to British people, this pudding is not dessert. It's more for savory, usually served with gravy. It's cooked in animal fats or drippings, and then when it came to America, it became popovers, and it shrunk in size because popovers are small. They're usually made in a muffin tin or a special popover tin, and yeah, which is why there's that very heated debate of Yorkshire pudding being sweet. Is a no. That's a no. You don't make Yorkshire pudding sweet. But to quote Shakespeare, so we're gonna go into what is it. To quote Shakespeare, a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. Whatever you call it, whatever is used for. I think the common consensus is that savory is Yorkshire pudding or popover, and sweet is a Dutch baby. Uh, but whatever you use it for, they're basically made the same way. You get a hot pan. We gotta make sure it's hot, so it's already heating up in the oven. And then you have a fat, whether it's for Yorkshire pudding, it is usually animal drippings, lard, animal fat, um, and then you pour a batter into it, and then you bake it off, and it puffs up, and then it collapses. Is when you pull it out, and so you're left with this fluffy, puckety, crispy, kind of flat bread almost. Um, and so yeah, and then you add whatever you want to it. It's a Yorkshire pudding. You can eat it with gravy. You can eat it with your roast. So if it's a Dutch baby, add powdered sugar, syrup. Treat it like a pancake, basically. Yeah, and so the batter is very simple. It's very easy. It's similar to crepe batter in like consistency. It's just flour, milk, eggs. There is no leavening agent, except for I guess air. Just natural leavening. Um, there's really no leavening agent, but because of the mix and the nature of the mix and the high heat, it just puffs up. Yeah, and then depending on what you're using it for, you can add extra spices and seasoning, such as salt, pepper, vanilla, sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg, spices, right? All in time. But just like crepe batter, it's better to rest it, to allow the flour to fully absorb. So generally, what I do, if I'm making a Dutch baby, I would make it the night before and just rest it overnight and then get it in the morning. Or if you're doing it for dinner, or if you're making Yorkshire pudding or popovers, then just make it, mix it in the morning, and then let it rest until ready to serve. But yeah, so what do you think? Did you know what Dutch babies and Yorkshire pudding were, or are they the same? Are they different? Who's to know? Uh, but yeah, so that's true on this. We're going to flip the script. So today's flip the script, we are going into an anime, a beloved anime, a long-running anime, and this is kind of continuing on the theme from last week of faithfulness. And so this anime is Naruto. If you don't know what Naruto is the main character, and he's an orphaned ninja kid who is bullied because he has this powerful beast that basically destroyed his village, sealed inside of him. And so not a lot of people, especially the adults, don't really like him, and because he holds this beast that killed many family, friends, and stuff. And the whole story of Naruto series, because there's a newer one of the next generation, but the whole story of Naruto series is basically him trying to prove himself, trying to become the Hokage, which is the leader of the ninja village in the land of fire. There's different lands, and each have their own leader, and separate hidden ninja villages is with their leaders, and the Hokage is the leader there in the village that he lives in, and he wants to be the Hokage because the Hokage is respected and is is recognized by the village, and as someone who is bullied and orphaned, and so he wants to earn that title to prove himself to the village, and that could have gone two ways, right? He could have gone that way, on which he wants to prove himself and be respected, or he could have gone the other way and hated the village and wanted to destroy it, which is what his friend, or self-proclaimed friend, Sasuke, basically chose the path of destruction. He is also another orphaned kid, where his brother destroyed his entire family clan. There's so within the villages, there's generally different clans and families with special abilities. And so this particular character, Sasuke, his whole family was wiped out by his older brother and like relatives, right? And so he's the last, well, technically the last one of his clan, including his brother, because his brother's still alive. And so basically he wants to hunt down his brother, and then eventually he wants to destroy the village. And so the village, and eventually he kind of deserts. There's this village, and runs away and hunt down his brother, and eventually come back and, like I said, destroy it. And while this whole time, Naruto still considers him his best friend, still considers him his best friend, and chases after him and keeps wanting to bring him back. And every time he confronts him, he gets pretty much beaten down and rejected. But still, he faithfully chases after him. Still, he continually gets back up, continually fights to bring him back. And that is his faithfulness. And similarly, God does not fail. God is faithful, right? And just like last week, Romans 5:8, we are all sinners, right? We all messed up. We beaten and mocked God. We're the ones who crucified him, and yet, despite the separation, despite that we are bad, God comes to us. God loves us so much that he came to us, that he sent his son, that his son died on that cross for us, right? Just like Sasuke, who kept pushing Naruto away, who even beat him down, but Naruto still chased after him. God still is knocking at your door, right? No matter how much you feel, no matter what you feel like if you're just too dirty, you feel like you're just full of all these sins and stuff and so messed up, and that you can't be forgiven, that you man, but God is there with open arms. God is there knocking at your door. He's still there to accept you. And that's just is what I wanted to bring up, right? Right, and that connection that Naruto had with Sasuke, and that God has for you, that he loves you, right? Right. There's no sin. There's no thing that can separate you. And it's never too late to turn back. God, he's there waiting for you. And so that's what I want to look at, the faithfulness that we can learn and see in Naruto is characteristic of God. So that is flip the script, and let's wrap things up. Whoa, this is a nice. This is a shorter episode so far. And when I started doing both of these, that's cool. Uh, uh, so yeah, so we talked about Dutch babies, Yorkshire pudding, things like probably some of you never heard of, probably some of you already knew. I don't know. No one talks to me. No one leaves comments. I'm just kidding. But I'm just curious. All right, but yeah. So we talked about Yorkshire pudding, Dutch babies. Are they the same? I don't know. That's up for you to decide. Are they different? Probably. They're used for different purposes. Um, that's for sure. But are they the same dish? Technically, basically. Um, but they are from different regions. So, as we figured out, right? Right. Similar things can come from different countries. Um, but continuing on, flip the script. It kind of straightforward, plain, simple. Um, yeah, but it is a long series, so if you're planning on watching it, if you haven't, um, prepare, buckle down. But then there's also a lot of, if you're watching the anime, there's also a lot of filler stuff, so you can probably skip those. Unless if you're reading the manga, probably take you a while. Uh, but yeah, so that's it for today. This is releasing in February. So the next episode is probably going to be about Valentine's Day. And chew on this. And I don't know about flip the script. It's probably going to be something random. All right. So as always, thank you for listening or watching, whether it's on the podcast, YouTube, or however you found this place. You are greatly appreciated, and I enjoy. Yeah, very well. And so, if you stuck around for this long, I hope you have a jelly day. Bye.